Designing the Brotherhood Sistersol. Now, back in 2016, a very long time ago, I was tasked with the opportunity to assist with designing the Brotherhood Sistersol Center. It's a youth community organization based in Harlem that essentially does so many beautiful and wonderful things for the community, specific to children, and really uplifts them and positions them into a place of upliftment. Now, they wanted to create a new building that represented what they were doing. So we had to find a way to introduce their morals, goals, and overall company values into an architectural form. How do we do this? Now, the first thing that I wanted to focus on was the facade, because obviously in New York, we operate off of a grid system. And so really the showpiece of a building is the front of the building. And I wanted to then take the front of the building and then have that be a vehicle to inspire or interject itself into the actual circulation and overall layout of the building on the inside. So everything on the inside would be inspired or derived directly from the way how we would design the facade of the building. Now, for those who have seen it, I'm pretty sure you see that the facade has this jagged kind of edging to it, and it represents a hand half folded, but also a shield, some sort of a protective element that really keeps the individuals inside with a sense of protection. So how did we actually create this? Now, at the time, I wasn't really skilled in Rhino or Grasshopper as I am now. So I had to use some level of creative ingenuity to actually create the facade that we had. So actually what I did was create a series of points, right? And then now these points essentially would be connecting points with where the actual facade would line up. So this line that I'm drawing here is a wall, and this line that I'm drawing here is a wall. And then we had additional points for the channel glass Benheim. And then what I did was, I then took these points and I then moved them up. Moving them up would be pushing them up on the floor above. But to create the feel that the facade was moving, I then moved those dots or points outward 4 inches. So moving these out 4 inches and then continuing that wall pattern and then doing it again for the 3rd floor. And so now what you get is a 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor, and we even had a 5th floor and then a roof. So now what you get is basically, let's look at this from the side view, is basically if we had the same idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors, you get a facade that has a series of points. One starts here, then the second one, if we move it out, starts here. 3rd one, if we move it out, starts there. 4th one, if we move it out, starts there. 5th one, if we move it out, starts here. And so now what you get is a series of points that are all connected. They go upward, but then there's a bit of an edge that's created, and that's how we moved it out 4 inches. So now the wall is not just straight like this. Instead, we now have this jagged point. And same thing here, jagged point. Same thing here, jagged point. Same thing here, jagged point. So instead of getting this straight wall now, what you get is this here. And this was basically how the facade of the Brotherhood Sistersol was created.